okay? It is so irresponsible to be giving and dispensing medical information, in New York State at least, when you get a positive test on the internet. You immediately have, who are you tracking me from? Was she from this state? That could endanger someone's life. That lady that was tracking us?
The lady is tracking you from the state, yeah, whatever the state tracking or contact us.
Okay. So I hope you guys know that. So they call you right away. And they tell you, when did your symptoms first appear? It totally is. So from the date of your symptoms first starting, not from your positive test, I believe it's even against terms of service to be doing that. But actually still wet like crazy. And actually still have a low-grade fever sometimes. From the date that you had your symptoms, and I'm sure it is, especially because it's COVID-related advice. Well, believe it or not, they count 10 days. Now, anybody like myself that tests positive, 5 days. Okay? And you get a paper. Well, believe it or not, and you get released. Well, believe it or not, and you get released.
What?
5 days. Well, believe it or not, and that's how Luke got back into school.
I wonder if they're going to change that for schools.
And that's what they do. Some other kind of attention. Yes, you're a very good doctor. My blood ox was not steady. My blood O2. He takes my, pulse ox, okay? O2, not ox, but not my pulse ox is fine. Blood O2 levels wasn't my oxygen.
But I'll be fine.
You've had severe lower back pain. Yes, I had that.
They are giving me fluids.
Nausea.
I feel much better.
Headache.
I feel much better.
Fever.
They gave me a steroid.
Chest pain. Yeah, and they were like, oh, go to the cardiologist. Chest pain.
Giving me fluids.
Swollen glands.
I feel much better.
Muscle and joint pain. Yes.
I think my fever's gone down. I think my fever finally broke.
But they told me to come right into the hospital. They don't want to fool around with it.
I've never been one of those people to go, oh, I'm so sick. I feel so sick. I'll tell you, I always try to...
I can still feel like a band, but it's around my abdomen.
Minimize things for people.
And I do have nerve damage here, but...
I'm always the opposite. I will never tell anybody.
It's because I almost had to have my ulnar nerve transpositioned. I was all scheduled for surgery.
Especially if I'm not feeling well.
Back. Oh, and then
like I'll just be, I'm fine.
They said I told you guys about this.
I don't need to tell any of you guys about this.
They said it was the worst case they ever saw.
And get you all worried and stuff.
And they said I was going to have a claw.
But usually I'm always minimizing everything.
In this hand, and I would never type on the computer again because at that time this had all atrophied. No feeling at all. I had a car accident where I had a rollover, and I think it was residual from that. Typical narcissist fashion. Hi, Regina. Whenever the heat gets too hot, what they do is have a health crisis. Because my daughter decided to go to my son's last night, and then for fun, they decided to try some of these at-home COVID tests. Crisis is around the corner. I have really like PTSD from being in the hospital.
Jimmy is with Sarah. Oh gosh, that's too funny.
I
I'm
can
still
imagine
not well.
I feel much better already. I really do.
So I said, I just can't do it.
Davida, are you at work?
You brought your health into here because you gotta get ready to have a crisis. Gia tested positive. So she's getting ready with her health.
Well, maybe it wasn't real. Maybe it was like a false positive.
No, well, Gia didn't get this from me. And my son got like all upset. Then he wanted to come up. But then he started talking about Ray dying. But to have the health crisis, she's so, and but she'll be on again tonight, right?
Of course.
And then my daughter said, well, can I, should I come back up?
I thought you were going to say ruin your channel for you.
And I used it around, I don't even know what it is, and I knew I would be like filled with anxiety, and if something happened to me,
You do the same thing. You minimize everything for everybody.
I don't know, I just couldn't. And so, yeah, so it was great.
Oh.
It was absolutely horrible.
You wouldn't let her come and you kept them out because
Yes. Now, anybody like myself that tests positive, I did keep them out.
exposed.
Yep. 5 days. And I did see them.
What?
5 days. Yes, I did, and they didn't want to come either. And then my daughter said, well, can I, should I come back up? And they didn't want to come either. We wanted to come up, and we did go down, and we stood 6 feet away. My daughter's roommate, who tested positive, outside and exchanged our gifts. After me, well after me, because, and that's the smart thing to do. She's flying out on Christmas Eve, especially when flying on an airplane. Somebody has tested positive, yeah. Trying to tell me that
And they were saying that you would have been immune anyway if you really had it.
I was not, that I was out when I wasn't supposed to be. That's a lie. No, I didn't know. How do I know what strain I had?
I know.
Casbat never had a relationship with Casbat like mine with Scooter. Casbat, defend my friend. They tell you what they want you to believe.
Okay, Casbat's a true friend. She watches what she says.
Casbat's a true friend.
Yeah, it's great.
Defend my friend. Never had a relationship with Casbat.
Okay, Casbat's a true friend.
So they don't know. They don't. You're listening to people that don't know anything.
And never have receipts.
They're going after Casbat now too.
Never have receipts.
We're not going to stop. Really, you're judging? We're not stopping. You said that on your thing that you are God. Because we're doing God's work. You're not my God. We're doing God's work. You're not my God. You're not. The woman says she is God. Because we're doing God's work. And if you think I'm kidding, but you're God, right? We're doing God's work. The woman says she is God. Okay? So talk about yourself. Talk about yourself.
I did. It was a bad, Jimmy.
Like I said, the worst thing you can do,
I've never been on YouTube.
if you're lying,
I've never been on YouTube.
is go live. Because you're not going to be able to backpedal your lies.
Yeah, I know. I said, I go, what do you guys? Yeah, I know. I said, I go, what do you guys? BBT's the badass here and all this, and I mean, if she's bad news and really, really bad news, and if anybody gets mixed up with her,
Nobody even knows how bad she is, and yet people.
Maybe she'll straighten up someday, or maybe I don't know, but this is just crazy to do the stuff she's been doing.
Typical narcissist fashion. Whenever the heat gets too hot, what they do is have a health crisis. They have a health crisis. And it's either something with their health or they threaten to self-harm themselves. It works right along with that. Yes, she gets people to do her dirty work, absolutely. But in case anybody forgot, on my community post, I put Diane's channel's video. You can hear her death threats to me. Stop looking at one little video that doesn't represent me at all. From what, a year and a half ago? From what, a year and a half ago? Yes, she gets people to do her dirty work, absolutely.
Sending me emails trying to get me to do her dirty work.
We're not bullies as long as we're doing your dirty work, huh?
So I urge you all,
But I'm pissed at that comment. We're not a fucking bully channel.
to watch that video from Diane's channel.
And the nerve of you, who's used us as a bulldog before, to say so. Shame on you for that.
Okay? So you understand who BBT is
More than
You've come to us to defend you,
and what BBT has done.
and we have, and now we're a bully channel?
Just so they know who BBT is.
Fuck out of here.
It was a bad, Jimmy. I have never been on YouTube. I never had people assault me. No lies, yes. Surviving the storms always messes up. I was new on YouTube, and maybe I didn't know who I could trust and who I couldn't. Lesson learned. It's impossible to remember your lies. You have to have an extremely good memory if you're a liar. But that's what I was doing, venting to someone who was baiting me with this. when you were new. Yeah, it happens, Mama Ames. It happens to, I think, all new YouTubers. You don't know. And so, yeah, someone does something and you might vent about them. And then there's people that save that stuff or get that stuff intentionally to use it as blackmail. It's horrible. It's horrible. What, BBT? You're so crazy that you think I would need a criminal attorney. I'm not a criminal. I had an attorney. He had his retainer. It's not my problem. That's why I can't wait to go to court. Because I will tell you, I do not want to be in the same room as that woman. It's not my problem that you didn't get yourself prepared. I get a call from my attorney. It's not my problem you don't have an attorney. That he can't do this anymore. It's not my problem you don't know how to prepare for court. That something came up, and I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me. So, get with it. I was the victim of harassment. Okay? Harassment is harassment. What BBT did to me is harassment. When you're calling out people of the community, when you go to the community tab and you tag people that you don't even know what they're dealing with, when you put my name in the title and you're putting them in headlines and you harass them with your comments and you're shouting out to them on your videos, that's harassment. And one harasser knows another. Calling them disgusting names takes one to know one, right? All that, yeah, that's harassment. No, it helped you get sympathy, right? Everybody feels the walls are closing in and the truth is coming out and they do the same thing. Shake it all about. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Both of you who did nothing but torment me and my friends. That's it. And don't talk about people in this community. You have nothing. You're going to act like you're so weak. Oh my gosh. Lie. This has got to stop. He's going to pretend that do you know the way she slandered me is and so is somebody else. And how I cried over the lie. Just get ready for it. And the patterns are when they feel that the person with the 3 initials that gave me the death threats did it, everything is closing in on them to say they will self-harm. It's the pattern. And that's what happened to the person that left me death threats. If I was a weaker person, I could have taken my life. Maybe. What would she have done? She just went on there and lied and slandered me. And believe me, they're totally fine because I don't feel sorry for you. Because you are the harasser. The death threat, you're using the same content over and over that she left me on my voicemail. I said she gave me the death threat. You're reusing your material. Real death threats. Death threats after that, just unbelievable. Nobody believes it.
Yeah, I don't
you start to
understand.
hear the death threats on your whole panel. Just recycle. If you had received death threats like I.
On stairs, yes. I've got one right at my feet. I'm serious, though.
You would be in heaven.
Yeah,
So
I don't
you start to hear
understand.
the death threats on the other thing.
And I just have to aim for the chest. Just aim for the chest.
Because you could sit there and sadfish about it all day long. Hypocrites. See, this is what I mean. They're hypocrites. Just absolute hypocrites. I can't even believe the hypocrisy. No girl's going to give me a cattle prod. So I can be like the Handmaid's Tale. Right in the neck. Right in the neck. Right in the neck. Real death threats. I have pepper spray. I have pepper spray right on my keychain. Right in the neck. I have pepper spray. Real death threats. And, believe me, she doesn't want to come up here to this house. Credible ones. Oh, MH, 100%, I will do it. Hypocrites. And so Scooter and I said, can you even imagine? Wait till we get to BBT. They would be like, oh, did you hear that? But Casbat never had a relationship with Casbat like mine with Scooter.
Great.
Defend my friend.
Right, Casbat's a true friend. She watches what she says.
Casbat's a true friend.
Yeah.
Now Patty's not here anymore because she was never really my friend. BBT 8 weeks from start to finish. You know, she never really was. She never really cared about me. I had like started kicking her to the curb after 4 weeks, and they just like annihilate that person, okay, before the death threats. And you know, and then everybody in the chat would say like horrible things. Who here in this chat is familiar with BBT? Terry says yes, and she's not. Takes one to know one, right? And I'm like, how do they do that? How do they just do that? Now, BBT went to an all-time low. Is using BBT for credibility. They just they just go ahead and they just say like horrendous things like, oh, Scooter's not here anymore. She was never really my friend. Before I even read the emails, had I read the emails she sent me, which were Word Salad Express, it would have been faster. To then just really going out to totally hurt the person. She's playing a video like by saying like, oh, and the flowers that Scooter made. Now, anybody that knows BBT's videos, they were never any good. We just told her they were good. Anyone that has seen your videos knows they are crap because, you know, like they just say like such horrible, they are horrible, such horrible, they are horrible things about the person. They are horrible. They are all sliced up.
What's the goal of that?
She can't even get a sentence out.
Like, what's the
just to hurt them. And she thinks it proves something.
Just to be mean.
Just to be mean, just to hurt them. And everybody can see.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. You have a terrible editing job, right? You think you'd be an adult, and let's say you did have a falling out or whatever it is, and you guys are pathetic. You know, why do you have to go? BBT, do you know videos like that are not proof? And do such like exactly, Susan says, childish stuff. Videos where you splice somebody up like that are not proof. But that's what they do.
Yeah.
No, BBT, it was because your videos were crap and you spewed lies, BBT. She's nuts. Lies, yes, surviving storms always messes up. Is using BBT for credibility. Because I've been the one that's been driven to my breaking point, okay? And if I've managed to hang on and I've suffered the loss of a son, who is my best friend, I don't feel sorry for you because it's impossible to remember your lies. You have to have an extremely good memory if you're a liar. Lie, lie, lie. That's what they do. It's what they do. It's the pattern. The person with the 3 initials that gave me the death threats did it too. I can show you the screenshot. That is BBT. That is BBT.